TIL the Japanese government gave elderly people discounts on ramen if they surrendered their driver's license. Damn, Japan seems to always have the coolest solutions to social issues. Unfortunately, only one spouse would give up the license to get the discount, and the other would do the driving. I'm not elderly or Japanese, but I would seriously consider giving up my license for a lifetime discount on good ramen. Somebody has been watching abroad in Japan. My grandma was the first person in our state to willingly surrender her driver's license. 8 months later she was killed by a 19-year-old drunk driver while she crossed the street. Reality is so strange. I first learned about this fact from Chris Broad from abroad in Japan. But he does state that to see a lot of the beautiful sights in Japan's countryside, you still need a car, since many are still inaccessible to public transport. Best policy ever. Maybe we can offer our seniors discounts on McDonald's. Is ramen really so popular in Japan that they do this? Living in Japan and have a few friends that are elders, I can personally attest to this. There is a real issue with incidents involving the elderly and driving. It is actually mind-shattering when they voluntarily give up their license. Back in the States there would be an uproar for sure. BTW, Japanese driving schools are horrible. As a Mexican, cute, they don't know they can still drive without license. Also, I wish this wasn't true, but it's reality in Mexico. In all fairness, their ramen is way better than ours. Heck, I'd surrender my license to get a ramen discount. Then I'd get it again and surrender it until it's all free. I can confirm that Japanese roads remain full to the brim with dangerously old drivers. 12,000 is more than I expected. Local media reported that older drivers in Aichi are now entitled to ramen discounts after presenting their driving record certificate, which they receive from police in return for handing in their license. A set meal of ramen, rice, and salad costs just 500 yen, £3.60, a 15% discount. Offer valid at Shugakiya restaurant chain, which is a fast food ramen shop, one notch above instant ramen, and several notches below a good ramen shop. https://taken.co/single/Shugakiya cheapest ramen chain in Japan/. It's like giving up your driver's license for a 15% discount at the dollar menu at McDonald's for the rest of your life. BTW, if this was America, not including tax and tip, and subject to restaurant/business withdrawing offer at any time. I think the free public transport London gives to old PPL is a better solution, an actual replacement to driving instead of slightly cheap food. How much of an incentive is this really? A discount? While it is only the Aichi prefect's plan and not the national level, if it were, then I believe Kiyaki Drift King Tsuchiya would like a word in. I don't think even years from now he'd stop driving, or at the very least stop drifting. If I could have ramen from Japan at least once a week, I would be in paradise. Japan resident here, and also drive regularly here. I've had so many near misses with the gray gear shifters. Living in a semi-rural area here. They drive these little K-trucks, which are basically mini utility trucks with a motorbike engine in it. Not to paint all with the same brush, but it's basically. I am old, get out of my way. They either don't give a shit or literally can't see shit because they're like 100 years old. But unfortunately, and maybe surprising to some, public transport outside the larger Japanese cities is pretty crap. So I don't blame these oldies 100%. But they are still super dangerous. Honestly, I would do this right now at 24. Bike, Uber, cheap-ass ramen. That is great. Japan has a very good public transportation system. Giving up your driver's license in the U.S. is ceding your life, lol. The Japanese take elderly to a whole new level. The Japanese take ramen to a whole new level. A true samurai never surrender, unless in exchange for ramen. In Canada, they just pester the elderly every 2 years for a renewal until it defeats you. My grandfather just turned 90 a couple weeks ago and has to renew his license this year. He said he might just quit driving at that point. Especially considering COVID. Can I as a Californian surrender my driver's license in exchange for Japanese ramen? Please. It's a 15% discount. I'd be game for more of these types of deals. Overpopulation. Get free video games for life if you promise not to have kids. I will surrender mine right now for same. Am not elderly. Here in Australia it's usually only when they have caused a serious accident that they consider license removal. They do have fitness to drive tests but don't go in depth enough. In the States, this is as good as a guaranteed bingo card. What might be the version of that for your country, Redditors? See, that's awesome, keeping streets safer and elderly safer by saying hey, you can do this instead. I don't live in Japan and I would surrender my license, because it only costs $50 to get if you know the right people. They also gave them an official thank you for being a driver's certificate. Honor and recognition are very important in their culture and it was done to motivate them further. I'm 35 and I would do this tomorrow. What if I'm 30 and I want to surrender my driver's license? I love ramen way more than driving. Gets license renewal. Gives old license for discount. Stonks. Damn, I gave up driving 2 years ago because I felt that I lost quite a bit in my reaction time to adverse driving situations. I love ramen. Don't think the US or Virginia governments will give this elderly person discounts on ramen. Damn. In my area they give them taxi vouchers, something like 10 tickets to go anywhere in town. Further proof that Big Ramen has strong control of the Japanese government. /S. How do I cash in on this? My CA driver's license discounted ramen. I thought this guy was drunk as it took him 2 full minutes to pull all the way into the parking space. When his car is finally out of the way he's parked so bad he's blocking the space next to him. Old man proceeds to get out, which takes him much longer than 2 minutes. He realizes he did bad and then takes 5 or so minutes trying to get back in the car. Takes another 5 minutes backing out to repark. I hope I die before I get that old. Should do this with booze and drunk drivers. Some German city had a similar program, but instead of ramen, it was a single 1-year bus ticket. How cynical can you get? Paying old Asian people in noodles to stop terrible driving sounds hilarious. Oh, that reminds, I have ramen. Dinner of champions and the elderly, here I come. I love how similar old people are. Where I lived there were all these great cafes and the old people would know exactly which cafe's deal was 50 yen cheaper. Damn, that sounds like a dream to me. Can we do this but instead of driver's licenses it's Facebook accounts? Ramen or vehicular manslaughter? Decisions. Damn. Now I really want ramen. Another side effect of an aging population. The article mentioned truck drivers over 75. Where I am, lots of people in their 30s or 40s switch to automatic transmission cars because their knees start hurting with all this traffic and having to shift more often. I am aware that automatic transmission is available for trucks, but manuals are cheaper and you know how companies love savings. I drive manual, but I don't know if I had it in me to drive long distances with a loaded truck and way beyond the age of 60. My husband is only 37 but I'm certain he'd be into this deal. I would give up my license at 27 for discounts on ramen for the rest of my life. That's kinda cool. At least they get something out of it. Here I am not having a driver's license for free like a chump. I can't tell if that's brilliant or manipulative. That is truly a good fucking plan. Hell, I love ramen and hate driving so much, I'd take this offer right now. America should do this but with McDonald's or pizza. I've won, but at what cost? A small price to pay for ramen.